In the heart always 17. Back with another EP. And y'all do your boy a favor. As y'all roll on in, y'all hit that like button for your boy. Appreciate everybody sliding through. The weekend fight party, weekend fight reaction. You know what I mean? Appreciate everybody who contributed. You know what I mean? It was a success. I think the back end did 3.1, the front end did like 1.1. So salute to all my good peoples who came through the weekend sessions and made the weekend sessions yesterday and this morning, successful. Today I'm here with a little different EP that I've been following, now for a second. What's good, D Free? Appreciate you sliding through this joint. And this is the fallout, between the David Benavidez and Jamal Charlo. Now we all know how this started. Now this started with a single interview. The interview asked Jamal Charlo how you feel about David Benavidez. Jamal Charlo gave his answer. David Benavidez ain't take to it too well, and then that started this whole thing that we in now, the David Benavidez Jamal Charlo saga. In the beginning, I completely thought this was a waste of time and bullshit, given that they both are on different both are in different weight classes. But as time goes on and the days pass, this thing is really, starting to heat up more and more and more. The fans have kind of, taken to this. The fans have kind of taken to this fight, to these people, to the whole situation that David Benavidez and Charlo, are in. In the beginning, I thought it was just, fool's gold. Thought it was nonsense, bunch of jibber jabber. But Jamal Charlo has been talking about, eventually moving up to the 168-pound division. He even went as far as to say that he very well could see this fight happening in 23. He went as far as to say that, this fight is something that he plans to happen in the future because, they're both on the same side of the street. So yesterday, Jamal Charlo was giving an interview. Not really sure who the interview was with. You know what I mean? But this was quoted by the boxing saying Jamal Charlo guaranteed us that this fight between him and David Benavidez will happen because they both are on. They both are with the PBC, and that the PBC and them are just trying to build this fight up to be worth more. You know, to be worth the while. Right now, Jamal Charlo said that he feels like he's, the A side. He's the one. He's the name in this fight. You know what I mean? But there is ways that they could build this fight to make it bigger. For the both of them. And he said, Jamal Charlo said that this fight was good. DP, my guy Dwayne Freeman, my guy DS, my guy Solar Lee. Um, Jamal Charlo said that this is something that he wants. This is something that he expects to happen. You know what I mean? Especially with them both being on the PBC. It just got to be built and sold the right way. You know what I mean? And I agree with Jamal Charlo, especially now that more so lately he's been singing the tune of, that he wants this fight. Uh, I'm all for this fight now, especially since I was against it because Jamal Charlo, was at 160 and Benavidez at 168. But now that Charlo seems to be more open to the idea, it got me, more open to the idea because I don't like, getting myself excited for things that won't happen or imaginary fights. And this is exactly what this was to me. At first it was just an imaginary fight. You know what I mean? But now we got both fighters saying that they want it. We all know Benavidez has been saying for a minute that this is the fight he wants. And Charlo is now recently, within the last few weeks, even more after the selected fight fell through, which I think is a good sign. You know what I mean? He's been saying that he wants this fight as well. But I noticed something. I'm noticing something right now. Before Benavidez's fight, before Benavidez's fight with David Lemieux. David Benavidez was real vocal, about Caleb Plant, real vocal about Maria, real vocal about Jamal Charlo. But since the fight, David Morrell Jr. hasn't been as vocal. You know what I mean? He hasn't. He hasn't been as vocal. You know what I mean? Ever since his fight finished, was good. Demetrius Bright, appreciate you sliding through. And I wonder, and I'm not saying that I'm not saying that I know why he hasn't been as vocal, but I do notice that I'm noticing the pattern. I'm not gonna single out David Benavidez on this. I'm gonna keep it broad. I'm gonna just say this in general, not just David Benavidez, but I noticed this from a lot of people, a lot of guys, in and around when they're about to have fights. They tend to get real vocal about bigger fights, not necessarily even the guy that they're fighting. They tend to get real vocal about, well, who I want to fight in the future, and I want to fight this guy because this guy's a champion. This guy has a name. But when the fight actually happens, they end up fighting Joe Blow, or they end up fighting somebody that we never heard of. And I'm not saying that David Benavidez is doing this, but I am noticing the pattern. David Benavidez has called out Boo Andrade. He's called out Charlo. He's called out Morrell Jr. And he's called out Boo Charlo, Morrell Jr. Them three for sure, you know what I mean? And he has yet, to fight them. It's gotten real quiet now that he's actually free and available and able to fight somebody. David Morrell Jr. and his camp stated that they went to the PBC to ask him about that fight. Will it happen? To try to make it happen. Jamal Charlo said that that fight will happen just as soon as, it's worthwhile. As soon as he said he wants to build that fight up and then, have that fight go down. But Jamal Charlo ensured that fight, will happen between him and David Benavidez. And you can say, well, Sudden T, what was your purpose of making this Sudden T? My purpose of making this Sudden T was that, Jamal Charlo, each time he said, or something about David Benavidez, I made it Sudden T. I'm making these teas to let y'all know that Jamal Charlo is now on board with the David Benavidez fight. And to let y'all know that I have noticed that David Benavidez has gotten, a lot quieter these days. You know what I mean? Now that he's free, now that he does, now he has a free schedule. He has an open schedule. Caleb Plant has an open schedule. David Morrell Jr. has an open schedule. You know what I mean? What's good, Mike the Reaper? Appreciate you sliding through. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all hit that like button, Ratchet since 91. Appreciate you sliding through. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all jab that like button for your boy. I'm in here. Matter of fact, I'm finna read the article. I'm gonna read the article that Jamal Charlo. I'm gonna read exactly what Jamal Charlo said. Y'all. Y'all do your boy a favor. Y'all jab that like button. And again, this is the third time that Jamal Charlo has stated in reference to Benavidez that he does want this fight to happen. The first time he said he wants this fight to happen in 2023. The second time he said this fight is going to happen. David Benavidez be talking, but he don't really be meaning the stuff that he be saying. And now he's saying that this fight will happen just as soon as they build it up. He said that as soon as this fight is big enough, worthwhile, this fight will happen. He said it will happen. It's going to happen as soon as the fight is built up, as soon as it's worth enough for him. You know what I mean? By worth enough for him, I think he means David Benavidez, becoming a champion, getting a real strap or something like that. Or for David Benavidez, to get like a signature big win or something like that. And Charlo also said in the same interview, Jamal Charlo said in the same interview, he said that his plan is to get undisputed at the 160-pound division. He's trying to move to 160 or with him making money. Benavidez not moving down. Charlo go move up for this fight to happen, but he said this fight will happen. But he said he wanted to attempt to get undisputed at the 160-pound division first. He said that everybody want him to do a certain thing, but he wants to get undisputed. Just like his little brother. He said people should be putting. He said people should be putting that pressure. He said Triple G is probably about to move up and let go the belts. You know what I mean? So what he want to do down there is get undisputed. In that division. You know what I mean? So there are some things that Charlo said that he want to do first before this fight happened. He said they need to build this fight up to make it a bigger fight. So I'm guessing. By that, he meant him getting undisputed, because he mentioned that he wanted undisputed at 160. He also mentioned that him and David would for sure be fighting, when the fight is big enough. I guess the question would be, when is the fight big enough? What's good, heavy bag? Appreciate you sliding through. I guess the question that would be when the fight is big enough. But Jamal Charlo said that he'll be fighting him in 2023. You know what I mean? So he did say that. So I'm guessing we could be on the lookout for it in 2023. But I just thought that it was interesting that Charlo, now he's speaking more. He's speaking a lot more, on that David Benavidez situation. And I'm going to it. Here it is right here. Jamal Charlo said, I'm getting overlooked at 160. Benavidez fight will happen when it makes sense. I'm about to read the article. I'm about to read what he said for you verbatim. He said nothing ever happened. He was talking about Munguia on why the big fight seemed to the interview was with Brian Custer. The conversation was about why the big fight seemed to avoid Jamal Charlo. He started with Munguia. He said nothing ever happened with Munguia. I just never got a chance to deliver the contract, and he never got a chance to deliver his to me. So we never fought. There was never much talk about a fight with Munguia, said Charlo. Triple G, on the other hand, he's been there 160. He was a monster at 160. I guess he's moving up to 168 to try and fight Canelo. I'm getting overlooked right now in my division. It's not me, y'all. He said, I'm the 160-pound champion. Where are all the other belts at? I want all the belts in the division. Like my brother Jamel, who is undisputed at 154. I want to be able to unify and become one of the best middleweights to go down in history. No one is at fault when it comes to me and David Benavidez. When it makes sense, it will happen. It will happen. Fans, just be patient. I want the Benavidez fight, so the fight is going to happen, said Charlo. Canelo, then he started speaking on Canelo was good there, Deloach, and then he started speaking on Canelo. He said Canelo says I have nothing to offer him. I got a couple of fans that want to see the fight. The world wants to see it. You just lost to Bivol. You want to tune up, turn down $50 million. It is what it is. I just knew it was going to happen. You know what I mean? He said, I'm like, yes, we're going to get that fight. I ran around my mansion going crazy. Let's go, until Canelo turned down the fight. And this is what he had to say about Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade. This is what he had to say about Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade. He said Andrade threw his belt away. That dude has no pride. He was supposed to fight my brother at 154, and he canceled that fight too. We're not going to keep giving you guys all these opportunities, and you're not taking them, said Charlo. Everybody else wants them. I'll fight anybody. I'm a fighter. As long as it makes sense. He's going through management trouble or something like that. I don't know what's up with him. Whoever is handling his career needs their ass whooped. That's what he had to say about Boo Boo. So, as y'all know, Charlo, said in the interview, with Brian, because he had a lot to say. You know what I mean? But he did again say that we will be getting that, that David Benavidez fight. So, they give us something to be on the on the lookout for. Just want to come in here and drop that tad bit of information. You know what I mean? Out for you. Type deal. And I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Probably finna go. Mind my goddamn business. But I want to drop this joint. I was supposed to drop this joint a lot earlier. I was supposed to drop this Sudden T right here a lot earlier, but I got caught up you know, and everything with it being Father's Day and all that good shit. I was debating whether I was go, you know, do a regular live stream, you know what I mean, right now. But I'm gonna keep this done short and sweet. Just wanted to give y'all that little tad bit of information, skin the heart away, Southern T. This like the past, this like the future, but this the present. That's how we rocking, and I'm out. Love.